criminal mind in an indestructible body. Let's get grammed. Welcome to I Hope You Suffer.
Oh,
I wish Let's Get Grammed was a real tagline.
it should have been.
This is episode 249 of I Hope You Suffer. I am Manny / Giggles.
Slash Gallagher.
Oh man, you guys took all the good ones. I'll be Thug with Flamethrower.
I was gonna say you could be 8-Ball.
Oh, 8-Ball.
Thug with Flamethrower. Pretty good name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Agreed. Thugwith is his first name. Flamethrower last name.
You could have been Thug
Goes by
uncredited.
Thug. Yeah, I think the Flamethrower speaks more to me as a person.
We are talking about 1995's Hologram Man.
Wow.
Banger.
Also known as Cyber Killer.
Oh,
Less cool name.
I think Cyber Killer's cooler.
Oh, you jam Hologram Man into one word, so it's Hologrammin.
Yeah.
Way cooler.
Yeah, Hologram, if you will.
Hologramin.
This movie was like kind of boring, but then they turned to holograms, and the special effect is so stupid that I was like, this rocks. It's like somehow worse than Shocker.
I agree. Like, I thought the idea of it was like kind of campy enough that it was fun, but the movie itself was, I agree, a little bit boring.
That wasn't paced very well.
Yeah, that was the problem.
The highs I think were pretty high. It's definitely a movie where you have a beer and watch with a couple of friends, and then it enhances the experience a whole lot. That was still pretty fun solo though.
I gave it like 2.5. Totally watchable. It's like on par with almost any weird 90s action movie you saw on like late night TV in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a knockoff Pune effort, you know?
Yeah.
I felt it was like quintessential futuristic, like late 90s movie.
Well, like when it first started and you have that sort of like shootout at the beginning, I was like, this is the worst future I've ever seen.
It opens so hard. Like it's a 10-minute like gun battle. Shit's exploding, people are on fire for no reason.
80% of the movie is gunfights and explosions. They spared no expense for explosions.
Yeah, you could tell because they didn't give anybody any sort of futuristic looking anything until dude's driving his fucking car.
It's the cars. That's it.
I had no idea it was the future until we got to the cars, and then also the dude's in hologram prison or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's just footage of, like, Los Angeles, and I'm just like, yes, this just looks like Los Angeles in the 90s, and, like, they're having the firefight, and Joe Laura is, like, wearing a suit and tie and shit, and I was like, come on. In the future, this guy would look like everybody from Demolition Man.
Wow.
Or
and
like...
they say, don't they say Demolition Man in the movie?
They sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, excuse me? I figured it was either at the point where our main character is introduced, I was like, this is either futuristic or it's in the past because of the fact that he has a ponytail. There's no like now time when someone has a ponytail. It's either future or not. So
I'm gonna make a movie and every character is gonna have a ponytail.
I mean, 2 of the people had, well, I guess Slash had like braids.
Yes, Slash's hair is a choice.
Yeah, it is. He was giving me major I love this world vibes. There's a few times where he just makes like very weird exclamations, and but this is a canon movie, isn't it?
I don't
I don't think so.
think so.
PM?
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was.
Did you watch Texas Chainsaw Part 2? Because that's a canon film.
Oh, you're right. I did. I watched both of those today. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay. Well, either way.
Yeah, this is from the extremely good production company that brought us Skyscraper with Anna Nicole Smith. Banger. Also, To the Limit with Anna Nicole Smith.
Right.
And Little Bigfoot with
Anna Nicole Smith.
Chris Finch.
Little Bigfoot looks horrific, by the way.
I want to see it so bad.
I feel like I liked Little Bigfoot. Let me look it up.
He is
there's a 100%
looking.
chance Katie loves Little Bigfoot.
Let me see it.
His face, this bitch's face is absurd.
This does not look. Maybe he looks different in the movie. I feel like I know Little Bigfoot. Not that face, though. Ew.
All of their movies look incredible. Cyber Tracker, come on. You know that movie rocks. It's got Don Wilson in it.
Cool. Yeah. I've become, even though some of these are like hit or miss, I've become very fond of these like weird futuristic 90s cyber movies.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Then I was like, why does this main character look so familiar? And I forgot that you said he was an American cyborg. Because for some reason I just cannot remember that movie existed.
All the movies he is in also look incredible.
Night Wars, where dreams turn deadly nightmares.
Except for this Gunsmoke movie, Hard Pass. But he's in a bunch of Tarzan movies, including one by Brian Usna.
Oh fuck yeah!
I mean,
I've realized as a side tangent, I realized Brian Usna is just like one of my favorite directors recently. Everything he does is like insane to some degree and thoroughly enjoyable.
Including Return of the Living Dead 3.
Yeah, I actually enjoy that one.
I don't know if I remember.
Because again, it's fucking insane.
I feel like 3 is one of those ones that just like I forget. I could not tell you the plot of 3 at the moment, but I could tell you the plot of the rest of them because like 1, great.
They're the same.
2's pretty good, and then 4 and 5 are so fucking batshit terrible that like especially like Rave to the Grave will never leave my mind.
3 is easily the best sequel. That's an extremely low bar to clear, but
oh shit, I don't know. He did the Faust movie.
Yeah, which fucking rocks.
Those comics are insane.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 4.
Oh, yeah,
where like people turning into cockroaches.
Rottweiler.
Yep.
Yeah, we stand Brian Usna. All right, yeah, I hope you suffer, but why?
Yeah,
we're just gonna talk about Brian Usna for the rest of this episode.
Yeah.
Brian Usna,
the dentist.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. Didn't he? Yeah, I was gonna say him and Stuart Gordon wrote "Honey, I Shrunk the Kids."
Yeah.
Which is incredible. Should have let them direct it. The movie would have been wild.
Even better. Yeah.
All right, Hologram Man.
All right, let's go. I also want to watch Robot Dracula. This looks awful.
Sorry, what? I'm in on that title alone.
It's where did it go? Oh, I lost it. It was under Brian Usna's something somewhere. Okay, so Hologram Man starts again a second movie where it just starts with the credits right off the bat.
Hold on. Robot Dracula I think is not out yet.
Oh.
But it stars, let's see, Malcolm McDowell, Mick Foley, Don Coscarelli, Bruce Dern, HR from the Bad Brains, Tom Holland, the director, Russell Simmons, Brian Usna, Afro Man, Scott Steiner, Ron Simmons. I can only guess these are all voices. Oh God, Bill Zabub is in it, the director of Ant Farm Dickhole.
Boo. What?
Oh no.
I don't know what this is, but what an incredible cast. Because it just, like, right now, Letterboxd, it just says plot to be confirmed, but it's Robot Dracula.
Plot to be confirmed. Okay. I will also say I didn't expect to recognize anybody in this movie aside from obviously the main guy because we've seen a movie with him in it.
Tanya Lister's in it.
Yeah, and also
John Amos
Mike
or
Nori and John Amos. Yeah, I was like, oh, all right. Michael Nori seems like a weird one to have been in this one, but
y'all.
Yeah.
I've got a very sad update on Robot Dracula.
Oh no.
It's got David Ellefson from Megadeth in it.
Fuck yes.
Do you think he's going to be masturbating on camera at a underage girl?
Oh my
of course
God.
he is. He's in Megadeth.
Underage Dracula.
Underage Dracula. Okay, copyright that. I'm into underage Dracula in a different way.
I was gonna say, don't be saying that.
No,
That's not a thing to say out loud.
Than a different way than a grown man would be.
I know what's getting clipped for our greatest hits episode.
Okay. All right. Let's veer the other way.
Add on to the Ellefson thing real quick. looking at his Wikipedia page, it has that listed under controversy.
Oh, that's what did I have to look up? I had to look up something yesterday. Was I talking to you, Kit?
Yeah, it was Al Snow.
Oh, that's right, Al Snow. Where I was like, I just looked up Wikipedia, and if I don't see allegation or controversy, I assume they're all right.
Oh my God! Well, look, it's being updated every day, unfortunately.
Dylan and I recorded our final episode on the Evil Bong movies and just burned through the last fucking 4 of them yesterday.
That's too many.
Like, today, he sent me a message. He was like, I can't believe we didn't know this to talk about it. And, like, sent me a Wikipedia link that was to one of the actresses in, like, 2 or 3 of the last Evil Bong movies. And it's how it was like, oh, she starred in, like, this movie. On Twitter, she spouts QAnon ideology and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, holy shit. She's in a movie coming out this year or next year called Adrenochrome 2. So.
Oh,
no. Terrible. I'm so fascinated, though.
Mindy Robinson from Millionaire Matchmaker and King of the Nerds.
She's going to be in Dashcam 2.
She was in VHS 2.
No.
This is her biography on Wikipedia. She often works with her long-term boyfriend, former UFC heavyweight champion and actor Randy Couture.
That makes so much sense.
Starting off hard. Robinson ran in the Republican primary for Nevada's 3rd congressional district in the 2020 election, finishing 3rd. Robinson has promoted various theories on her Twitter account, including QAnon, the Clinton body count conspiracy theory, and the conspiracy regarding Stoneman Douglas High School shooting survivor gun activist David Hogg. Good stuff.
What a lovely person.
Great.
Yeah. She's in a movie called Ted Bundy Has a Son that's in post-production.
Perfect.
Why not call it Ted Sunday? It's right there.
I hate it here. Okay.
Oh, she's in a short called Anarcho-Capitalism, the movie, as a news anchor.
Oh, no.
I like that Shark... Well, I guess it says TV film, but I like that Sharknado is listed under TV instead of a movie.
Gotta keep it away from actual cinema. Like Hologram Man.
Yeah, Hologram Man.
All right, let's get Hologram.
Oh, I hope you suffer idea movie trademark.
Okay.
Hologremlin.
Ooh, I like it.
All right, we can continue on to the movie now.
Let's see.
That was my last thing. I promise.
Are you sure? Anything else? Okay.
No, I got it out.
All right. I know I'm gonna start. Nathan's gonna be like, "Oh, wait, let's talk about."
Hollow Gremlin is just coming up with some fucking e-girl on Twitch.
Oh. Well.
Whole gremlin,
That's fine.
whole bed. TikTok. All these are just TikTok links. I hate it.
All right, so
No, yeah, we can win any kind of legal battle against TikTokers.
Yeah, I was gonna say by rights it doesn't exist.
They're about to
it's
be
gonna
gone,
get
so
it's gonna get deleted anyways. Okay, so Hologram Man starts with credits, unfortunately, but also fortunately, it's got some music that's very heavy on the drum and the tuba, so it's already starting off very great.
That winning combination.
Whoever was writing the drumming was like going so hard too. It was like boom, 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 boom. I don't know. It was great. Okay. It immediately starts with a gunfight. There's cops, of course. There's bad guys, and a man with a ponytail. And the ponytail ends up being our main character, whose name is Dakota. I was saying Dakota, but it's Decoda. Like Dakota ring. You know, when you write away for your Dakota ring.
Keep going.
Stuff's. I am.
How many other ways can you explain Dakota?
Well, just the two.
Oh. Rude.
Stuff's on fire. For whatever reason, this whole time.
That's how you know it's the future. Everything's on fire.
The
only thing they got correct.
Yeah.
Did they say what year this movie takes place in by any chance? I don't remember.
No.
I don't think so, yeah.
They don't. And the other thing that's confusing to me is that, like, the cop cars are normal cop cars, right? And everything in this opening scene, it's like normal cars, and there's like whatever. Then it makes like a 5-year jump to where now all of a sudden they're living in a biodome, and it's like the future. And I was like, wow, a lot happened in 5 years.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't. I don't know if I remember them saying it was like a 5-year jump.
What an incredible shot that is also when they have it like panned out on the city and they start talking about the biodome and then it just appears.
It's there. Yeah. They don't even actually say that. I inferred it because when they arrest Slash, they say that he's like that his hearing is in 5 years. So like they don't actually tell us anything.
Top quote on IMDb from Slash Gallagher. My name is Slash Gallagher. I
can't take Gallagher seriously.
What a name.
They should have given him a fucking mallet.
That's
a mallet seriously. And a top hat like Slash from Guns N' Roses.
That exactly, yes. That is what I wanted when he said his name. But instead here we are. Just with his braids.
That's a name that's up there with Slade Craven for me. Slade Craven / Gallagher Power Hour.
I watched that movie, them teaming up.
Yeah. Okay. Jeez. Okay, so Ponytail's name is Dakota, and he is in the shootout with his chief, with his like boss guy, and his boss guy has like a really cool silver gun that shoots missiles somehow. It's like a little hand cannon, and he's blowing up all the cars and stuff. Then some like armored car comes, which is just like a car that they've like bolted metal to so it can like plow through stuff. And Dakota and the chief interrogate some guy to try and figure out like what the hell's going on. This guy is basically just like, Slash is going to attack the mayor. And then the chief is like, cool, thanks. And he runs away, even though the guy is like really hurt. And Dakota is like, oh, for goodness sake. And he like drags the guy away from another car blowing up.
That's how you know he's a good guy. Even saving the criminals. What good cop.
Right, exactly. Like, yeah,
hero.
Exactly. And then there is abruptly a couple that is having sex for a long time. And at first I was like, what does this have to do with anything? But so a henchman whose name is One Eye, and you know he's One Eye because he has an eye and then an eye patch on, you know.
But he had his second eye underneath it.
Yeah, he did actually.
The eye patch was just for show.
The eye patch is pretty sick looking, at least. You could tell it's
It
the
was-
future because it had 2 straps instead of 1.
Right. And they didn't just go like straight across his head. They had like a little bit of a design to them, futuristic. He calls Slash, who we find out is the guy that was having sex. So that's why it makes sense. And
I forgot that fucking sex scene is so weird.
I was like, what? It goes on for so long.
Yeah.
And I was like,
what a
is
start to
happening
this
here
movie.
immediately? Yeah. Explosions. It's the things people want from movies. Ponytails, explosions, sex scene. There we go. Just got it all out of the way, right? In the first 5 minutes. One Eye calls Slash and says, the governor has arrived. Everything's in place. And so Slash is like, the people need me, or some shit like that. He's so fucking weird. So Dakota and the chief are motorcading with the governor, and they're basically like telling him that his life is in danger, but he's just kind of like, well, par for the course, I guess, you know, that's just like what being a governor is like. And then the chief continues to like make fun of Dakota because he's like a straight-laced guy. He like has his little notebook that he writes cop stuff in and stuff. I don't know. The whole thing is like very strange to me. Meanwhile, Slash has stolen a bus and is like, I don't know, you know, just crashing into stuff and wrecking up the place.
As you do as a bus driver.
Yeah, literally. And then some random person walks into the road to stop the motorcade from going forward. Obviously, this is one of Slash's henchmen, and he starts shooting. Slash shows up in his city bus, and there's another gunfight and explosions. I'm going to be saying that a lot. So,
That kid pretty much just explains like 10 of the 12 scenes in this movie.
Like, I'm not even kidding. It's not an exaggeration to say that at least 75% of the movie is just like gunfights and explosions.
As it should be.
Yeah. So there's like a shootout, right? Dakota takes control of the car that the government in like speeds off, and then Slash follows him in his bus. And there's like a car chase, right? The bus is like ramming into the car, and eventually the car ends up flipping. Of course. And Slash's partner girl is shot and killed, and he's really sad about it, of course. And then he ends up getting the governor, and then there's like a standoff between Slash and the chief and Dakota. And he's basically just like, put your guns down, or I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. And they're like, okay, sure, I guess. And then the chief is like, no, I'm not, whatever. He ends up getting shot. Oh, Slash says that he has 3 bullets. He's gonna put them in the chamber, and we're just gonna see what happens, right? He goes ahead and just kills the governor, and he's gonna do roulette with the bullets between the chief and Dakota.
I gotta say, they did a pretty bad job of making Slash seem like the bad guy of this movie.
I mean, so we find out that he is like a freedom fighter, quote unquote. He's like rebelling for the people against the government and all of that stuff. But he is like, I don't know. He's kills a lot of people for no reason. And it's just like, he doesn't really seem to actually be getting anything done. So I'm kind of like, I understand.
I'm pretty sure all of those people were politicians, so like, who cares?
Well, I don't mean them. I just meant like
that's in my head canon for Hologram Man is every single person in this movie killed was a governor.
Most of the people were, but like, for example, when he just like hijacked that bus with all the people on it, and he was like shooting people, and they were like screaming, and then the top of the bus got ripped off and probably decapitated them, like in that Tag movie. And I was like, let them off the bus. That if you're like, I don't.
They
know.
were also politicians.
Yeah, those were all former presidents in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the presidential bus.
I'm here for it.
They
then,
make them
aside
all.
From the fact
every living president in the future has to live together on a bus. It's like the Bang bus, but it's the president's.
Okay, that makes total sense.
They still bang though.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what you have to do after you're president in like
everyone knows that.
Presidential
2025. That's the new law.
Yeah. Okay, here you go. So you got to sign this. You are allowed to be president. However,
You can commit as
once
many
you
crimes as you
do
can
whatever
in
you
the 4
want, you
years
have to
you're president,
participate in the
but
orgy, though.
you're a bang bus participant after that.
God damn it. I guess. Okay. Jeez. Pull my leg.
Just one more reason I would not want to be president.
Ew, no.
I don't know, how clean is this bus?
My problem would
but
be
but
is
it's also it has to be a city bus.
yeah. So,
take that as you will.
So very clean.
Yeah, the cleanest.
We don't have those here, so I don't know.
You gotta think though. Look at who's living like a living president right now. You want to be a bang boss with them?
No, I don't. Not with any of them.
Maybe Biden. Biden probably gets down.
Bro, you seen the way he eats ice cream?
I see.
Ew.
Get you some of that sloppy toppy, bro.
I was gonna say I see the way he walks up and down stairs. I know he could go.
This is maybe the worst thing that's happened.
Our new spin-off podcast where we rate what president fucks best.
Joe Biden fucks, the I Hope You Suffer Side podcast.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. I bet Shane would be, though. You can ask him.
I'm gonna ask him right now.
Yeah, okay. Ask him who he thinks would be tops.
On next week's episode, Getting Raw Dogged by George W. Bush.
Ew. Oh, the worst. I feel so sad for anybody if like this happens to be their first episode.
I don't. Nothing will make
this is a great primer.
We're not even like 10 minutes into the movie. It's been 2 hours. Okay. What is okay, so jeez. Slash is gonna play roulette with the bullets for whatever reason. Who knows? He ends up just shooting the police chief again, who dies. And Dakota fights and ends up capturing Slash. So Slash gets arrested. Slash is booked, and they're just kind of like, while they're showing him being booked into this like hologram laboratory, they're like doing a voiceover about him. He's got like 12 aliases. They're like Norman Gallagher, aka Slash Gallagher, aka Pink Pilot, aka like I don't even know. They just like keep going, and I was like, all right, seems unnecessary. And also he is being charged with like 1,000 things, of course. And this is when they say that he's serving 5 years in the holographic status till he's getting a hearing, basically. So he's put in this machine and is holographicized, which is showed to us because there's like little like effects of like you're, you know, like if you imagine being put into a machine and then your consciousness is like uploaded to a computer, that's what's happening, kind of.
I sent Shane a message that said, important podcast question, do you think Biden fucks?
Okay. You better answer. So this is when we get a news report where they talk about Biodome, the movie, and it was getting really good reviews in the future. So then they're just basically talking about how like the government was going to put into effect this biodome, and like Kit said, they show like the city, like LA, the skyline, and then all of a sudden the biodome is just there, and it like rapidly switches to like a like real time, right? So they're living in the biodome now. And Dakota is watching TV. This is where I said it's 5 years later, I assume. They don't actually tell us. But Dakota turns off the TV, which his partner, Natalie, says that it's illegal. You can't turn off the TV while there is a CapCorp news story going on, which I think is hilarious. And he goes, "I'll give myself a ticket." That's just how you know he's just like the bestest guy. Natalie arrives at work, and it turns out that her and her dad are like in charge of all of the science and like technology behind the holographic prisoner stuff that's going on. And so essentially like the whole thing that's going on here is that because we see a prisoner who is having a hearing where they upload people into this like holographic state where I don't know what they're like reprogramming them so that is like if they like did crimes and shit, they would like put them in there and then reprogram them into thinking that the only thing they want is to be like productive citizens. Kind of they're like brainwashing them, and then they pull them back up like bloop, and then they're like, "Hey, do you feel sorry for shooting that guy?" And the guy's like, "Golly gee, yes. All I want to do is clean streets." And then they're like, "Cool, you're rehabilitated." And then they put you back into your body, and you just are normal. You're you're not a criminal anymore. Apparently,
this just feels like a massive waste of electricity.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But they don't even also go like I have so many questions. They don't go into any more specifics about this, but later we do see Slash's body, and it's like in a drawer, like as if you went to like a morgue and pulled out a drawer where there's a body, and they're all like that, and he's just laying there, and I'm like I have so many questions, like are they feeding them? Are they still pooping and peeing in that? Like, what's going on with their body while their mind is a hologram? What are they doing in the hologram? Are they like in a holographic prison? Like, I have so many questions about what's happening.
They're dancing.
$1 billion idea. I will let someone have. Just credit us. So, you know how they always do like the movie book adaptations and stuff? Someone should do it for all of these weird 90s sci-fi movies and just go into exhaustive detail on the science.
I'm gonna do it.
There you go.
I'm gonna be a famous writer for it's gonna be like the Jurassic Park of Hologram Man, where it's just like so heavy in science, and it'll be a hit. I think this is my calling. I'm definitely here. I'm gonna do one for Scanner Cop.
Shane said
I'm gonna do.
Shane said Biden bangs for sure.
Biden bangs. All right, there you go, folks. Okay, so this is this whole hologram system, right? Okay, so next, we see a scene of One Eye talking to, I think they called him Giggles. So Giggles also works for the Hologram Society or whatever the fuck it is, but he is going behind their backs and also working with this like freedom fighter group because they've got this whole scheme to try and get Slash out, right? So he's like hacking for them essentially, and they get to talk to Slash, and he's just like, "Hello, who are you?" and whatever. This is where I wrote futuristic cars. That's how we know we're in the future. It's the cars. And Dakota is going, he's like on his way to Slash's hearing, and he briefly talks to his partner Andy, who really there's no point to her in this entire movie, but here she is. And then he gets called to none other than a gunfight. So he goes there. There's lots of explosions and shooting. Dakota ends up arresting two of the people who are like in the organization, and I think they called them the Iron Crows, but it's literally the only time anyone ever says the name of this group, so I don't know. Could be. Then Dakota and his partner go to Slash's hearing, and they bring Slash's hologram up. So the holograms are like you're viewing a person on a computer like a hologram, but it's like 1995 or whatever, so it's like very grainy. They're also for some reason wearing really tight white bodysuits that are also long sleeve, and they have like a boat neck, and it's the the suits still don't really leave that much to the imagination. So when you first see it, it's a little jarring because you're trying to figure out what's going on, right? You don't. What's the situation? So he shows up and he's like,
they should have just let everybody just hang dong in this movie. I don't know why everyone's so afraid of just like.
Yeah, why are you scared of dong,
just
bro?
Be nude. Who cares? No one's gonna have clothes in the future. We're all gonna be nude anyway.
Yeah, dong it up.
No houses, just bang buses.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dong's out the window. Flapping in the wind.
Ew.
Biden.
No, thank you.
Dick flapping out there.
I told Shane about our idea about the bang bus, and he just said, I would swim into the ocean until I couldn't see land anymore after I left office if that was the case.
Cowardice.
No, it's like the only thing we will be wearing is the toe shoes, where you still can see everyone's individual toes.
Yeah.
You don't want to
3
like
foot in that economy.
Well, right, you don't want to step on something and get tetanus, you know. Okay. So they pull
about, like,
up
an entire society of people that are naked except for those toe shoes. Like, I want to step on something gross.
Yeah.
Nobody minds seeing like your dong hanging out, but like feet are still sacred.
Yeah, that's right. You
it's only
like, no,
you still gotta you gotta pay for foot pics, all right?
That's right. That'll be the only currency in the future is foot pics. Yeah.
Yeah, this episode's gotten real weird.
Yeah. I
would not have guessed that Hologram Man would be the thing to do it.
I was literally about to say, when I watched this movie earlier, I really couldn't have fathomed what was going to be happening here.
The best episode we've ever done.
Presidential foot jobs on the bang bus.
Oh my god.
Katie, you gotta do shirt to design. It's gotta just be just the bang bus on a skateboard. But it's gotta have the presidential seal on it.
Every wheel, there's like the 4 wheels of the bang bus are on individual skateboards. This is the worst thing I've ever heard of.
Wheels on the bang bus go round and round.
Presidential bang bus.
You can make the bang bus a Gundam. Bang Gundam if you want.
Oh my god, yes.
The Gundam's also wearing toe shoes.
Yes.
Shane just sent the Scream Bloody Gore album cover and just said, this is what the presidential bang bus is going to look like. Let's just not even talk about this movie. We're done.
We're like not even halfway into it. Is all I'm saying.
I don't think anything that happens in the movie is nearly as important as the presidential bang bus.
We saved democracy here. And we're never going to get credit for it.
Now everyone's going to be voting based on who they want to see on the bus.
That's fair. That's probably better than.
It's better than the system we have now.
I agree, actually.
This is Dwayne Johnson's chance to finally become president.
Have you seen that clip of him on the whatever talk show swinging that giant gummy worm?
No.
There's a gif I see all the time of him on some talk show where they hand him, I think there's like one of those big 3-foot gummy worms.
Oh my God.
Like you could see he loses himself for a minute where he's swinging it around like a dick and he like makes a face and then he just like realizes where he's at and he's like, wait, I wasn't just doing that.
Wow. All right, so yes.
They're just gonna try and continue like normal.
They're holograms.
Unbelievable.
So I'm
What, I don't remember where we were at. I think they just
but I'm just like trying to collect myself.
Did they just turn him into a hologram?
So, okay.
I'm just picturing Biden and The Rock on the bang bus.
I don't want this is why we need more female presidents. We need female presidents and stuff because yeah.
Dwayne's only gonna put up with Joe Biden's dirty old foot jobs for so long. Okay.
Dirty old foot job.
He's probably got like corns on his feet. It's unfortunate.
Definitely. Yeah. Gross. Black toenails, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
And not
falling
painted
off a
ones.
bicycle constantly.
Ew. Okay, so close the book on that chapter and let it go. Drop it off a cliff.
So you think?
They're doing Slash's hearing, and they're basically just like, hey, so how's it going? And he's basically just like, you're all ugly and stupid and I hate you. And they're like, oh, you still suck. You like, it didn't work at all. And the computer is basically saying like, he's got massive personality disorder is still there. And also he has dementia. And I was like, what? Xerxes?
Yeah, Xerxes is
I was like,
being Xerxes.
I was like, what does dementia have to do with any of this? And basically they're basically just like, okay, well, we're going to return you to hollow mode because like you're not it. It didn't work. And they're basically just like, we're going to just do this forever, I guess. He's like, I'm going to put you in here for 50 years. Meanwhile, Giggles is, he's the hacking guy, is hacking. And so what ends up happening is he tippity taps, and then there's like a power surge that electrifies his hologramness and allows him to become not just a hologram, but a hologram man, where he is a man made of hologram in the real world. And he goes, oh, yes, I like this. And this is where it was like giving me cyborg vibes for sure.
I would like to be a hologram.
Yeah, you know why? Because he can also just shoot electricity. He's like electrifying people, and he's also impervious to bullets because Dakota and his partner just start trying to shoot the fuck out of him, and he's just standing there like, okay. Then he just like walks through a wall and he's gone. Like, sounds pretty sweet.
Sounds like the only good way to be alive.
Yeah. Okay. There's a meeting where all of the like heads of whatever, the heads of the government under the biodome get together, and the like head of the police guy goes, don't blame the police. And I was like, yeah, likely story. And this is where we find out that the biodome was basically built because the ozone failed, and so they like got everybody. Who knows? Because it's not a very big dome, but like all of LA is in this dome, and it's basically become like a dictatorship type thing, as all of these do, where it's like people.
the most realistic thing in this movie.
Literally, yeah. But it's like people have the crime is down because like they have curfews and everybody is basically just like controlled, like they can't do whatever they want. They're like assigned to specific tasks. And stuff like that or whatever. And this is the first time that we see Dakota try and like sort of crack a little bit, because they're like, I just like don't understand what's going on here. And then Dakota's like, well, the people are mad because they want to be free to make their own decisions and like have their own destinies. And he's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he does not like it. And he's like, go do your job. And he's like, okay, I will. Natalie and her dad talk about science. And essentially what comes out of this conversation is that Slash is indestructible. Like a bomb could go off next to him and he would not be harmed because he's just energy. Yeah. This is when Dakota does a simulation that looks absolutely incredible. Where he kills 12 assassins with only 12 bullets. He's the best.
Bullets are expensive, right?
Yeah. Slash arrives at his base where they have made him a body out of polymer, and he's digging it. He likes it. So he looks like his actual self again. He's on a hologram right now.
They did a pretty good job just making him the exact same body out of rubber.
Like pouring. So basically the idea that they're trying to say
the
here
perfect Slash Gallagher mold
is that they poured like negatively charged polymer over his body so it coated his energy and keeps his energy inside, so that he
amazing.
So
your
that he
science
cannot.
book is going to be so long.
It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. I can't wait to come up with all these new terms for pouring polymer over a
Just
hologram body.
8 chapters on how they did this alone.
I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be like being back in school, and I'm gonna be like, an electron is blah 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 blah. You know.
I'm in.
And I'm just gonna, yeah, all right, okay. The nucleus is the powerhouse of the cell, or whatever, you know. So yeah, so it holds all his energy in, and he can not only now interact with things around him, like pick up pipes to beat people and stuff, but he can also just shapeshift and be whoever he wants. And I was like, what? Why? But here we are. I have to say, they don't really use it that well. They do 2 little face-off type tricks, and like that's it. And I was like, if you could really just shapeshift into anything you want, you're not really, the sky's the limit, you know. So this is when Dakota decides that he is done playing fair, and he goes and gets his dead chief's hand cannon, and Natalie is like, you're not the man that I used to know, or something like that. And he goes, no, I guess I'm not. And then she stomps off. Okay. There's another
She
police.
is so pointless to most of this movie until it's just they gotta turn Dakota into a
Literally,
hologram.
yeah, she's pointless. The only thing that his partner does also is get like blown into the air by a bomb, which was pretty funny looking. That's also it. So there's another police motorcade with the secretary of the government this time, whatever that is. And the motorcade's attacked, of course. There's explosions. There's a gunfight. The secretary gets kidnapped and brought to Slash. And essentially, this is when he says he's going to make the city great again. And I was like, oof.
I know. Like, I know it was like a former president's like thing before Trump was like the "Make America Great Again" thing. I guarantee you he got it from this movie.
100%.
He saw
his
this
favorite
shit
movie,
on like
1995's
TNT.
Hologram Man. Yes.
It was like, I'm saving that for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am gonna use that.
Yeah. He you know, finds a kinship with Slash. Their body types are the same. They're both ripped, you know?
They both have roid rage.
You could tell also. Not to be
No, they flat like the
sad,
one trivia
but,
thing
like,
flat out said that like based on like time restraints and like how how many takes they were allowed to have, like numerous scenes in the movie are just like him like raging.
Yeah.
So like
Raging
honestly,
roidly.
the only way people should be allowed to act in movies.
If you're
Instead of
going to be a
method acting.
president, you have to get on the Pound Town bus or whatever you called it. And if you're going to be an actor, you have to do roid rage.
Pound Town
That's
Bus is
it.
way more interesting than Bang Bus as a name.
Bang Bus.
Agreed.
Pound. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it could be, you know, different places that it's going.
Different pound towns across America.
Yeah, you know, do you want to go uptown to Pound Town, or do you want to go downtown to on the Bang Bus?
They
like,
only film.
you've got options.
Cities named Pound.
Poundburg.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. All right. Oh, geez. Every time the Bang Bus comes up, it really goes off the rails for me here. Oh yeah. He can make the city great again. And also, he's just a nice guy. You know, he's just a little misunderstood. He's not crazy at all. And then he wants the secretary to like be his ally. And the secretary's like, okay, I have to think about it. Meanwhile, the hacker tells Slash that they are broke. You know, it's tough. It's tough out there. And so they decide that they're going to rob a bank, and this is a dramatic bank robbing, but they get the money. The president.
I legitimately forgot there was a president in this movie.
It
was so weird that he wasn't on the Bang Bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, because he's current president.
Didn't recognize him.
Yeah,
You only get it's when you retire you get on the Bang Bus. So he's bang free right now. He's just doing it. He's not really doing his job, but yeah,
What if there are two different Bang Buses? So like, there's like the white bus, which is like That's a terrible name. We can work on that.
I was like, wait, where are you going with this?
Instead of the White House, white bus. Oh, that's bad.
Okay.
But it's a bus filled with like your advisors who you bang.
Oh.
And then after your term ends, you get kicked out onto the bang bus with all the other presidents.
Maybe Pound Town is the current with all of the.
We moved the White House to Pound Town.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's just one bus is presidents, one is vice presidents.
And it just keeps going down. So whatever your rank is, that's where you get. That's where you go.
Smaller and smaller buses.
Yeah. So the current president, tells Dakota,
the non-bang bus president.
Yes, the pre-bang bus president tells Dakota to get to the bank because there's a shootout. And Slash, meanwhile, broadcasts to the people about how they need to rise up and take back LA. You have to. And Slash comes out, and there's more explosions and gunfighting and stuff. And his body gets set on fire, and his fake body just melts away. It looks pretty great. Sarcastically. And
I was like, oh, did it?
No, it did not at all. And then he's just like a hologram, and he's like, see ya, and he walks away, and Dakota's like, God damn it. So the president is yelling at him because Dakota stole $100 million from him. And he's mad, right? And Dakota is just like, I don't really know what to say because like he's literally indestructible. So I'm not really sure what you want me to do. And the president's just like, do your fucking job. And I was like, oh, jeez. And so he's like, okay, well, why don't we go to all of Slash's like bases of operation and just like destroy all of them so he doesn't have any place to like gather resources. And so the president is like, okay, fine. And then he's like, okay, but the secretary is still missing. What should we do about that? And the president literally says, fuck that guy. And I was like, well, there you go. And then here, I will say, like, we watched this on YouTube. The subtitles were, like, mostly fine, but every now and then it messed up. And what actually was said here was, here you go, boss. But it's subtitled as here go, Bo. And I don't know why, but it made me laugh so hard.
Here go, Bo.
Here go, Bo.
Makes sense to me.
Classic Gobo.
What a hoot. I loved it. Yeah. Okay, so meanwhile, the secretary, who is still with Slash, is mad because he's like, I understand what you're saying. Like, I'm here for the people also, but I don't agree with you killing so many people, like, in the
world
process of doing all of this stuff. And he's basically just like, listen, people are going to die, but if you help me, you can manage all of your stupid special social projects or whatever. And he's like, okay, I'm in. Dakota, meanwhile, visits a chairman. So basically, we're just seeing like scenes of everybody who was like at the like governmental round table talking about Slash or whatever. They're just like, he's just like going through the ranks and like either kidnapping and or killing people. So he shows up at the chairman. Who knows what the chairman does? But he just like tosses him over a balcony. He just like literally walks in and throws him over a balcony, and the guy falls for so long until he lands on a tiny little coffee table.
The rules.
It was great. And then it's immediately revealed, of course, that it's Slash pretending to be Dakota. And this is the only time that he does any shape-shifting, I think. So
yeah, I don't remember anything else.
It also it also like made no sense because it's not like they showed up and then everyone was like, Dakota did it, and then he got arrested. Like there was literally no consequences to him pretending to be Dakota.
Just
but whatever.
About.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah.
Having a laugh.
Slash is a goofy guy.
He is very goofy and zany. He's just such a
wacky.
He's just such a nice guy, you know. He just likes to have fun. Wacky. So the police, they Slash and like his henchmen or whatever, kidnap this somebody else. I don't know, some other guy. The treasure. I'm sorry, it's the treasurer now. And they walk out, and a police drone shows up and identifies him as being /Gallagher. And he's like, I don't like that. So he takes a baseball bat and pretends that he's playing baseball, and hits the drone into a building, and then reminisces about how maybe in another life he could have been a baseball player.
He would have liked to do taxes and laundry.
Yeah.
Taxes and baseball.
The American dream. And meanwhile, Dakota and the police have arrived, and they try to negotiate for the treasurer's life. And Slash is just like, yeah, fucking here you go, and wheels the guy over. The guy, of course, has a bomb strapped to him, and this is where there's another explosion that flings his partner Andy into the air. It looks incredible. One of my absolute favorite things in any movie or TV show is where somebody is so close to an explosion that it flings them back. Every time it gets me. No matter how serious the scene is, it always gets me. It's great.
Yeah, every movie should have somebody getting shot 200 feet into the air by a bomb.
Like,
Amen.
Upwards for some reason. Yeah. Like, it was great. And she dies, of course. And, Dakota's sad about it. Dakota and Natalie, Dakota is like, okay, Slash has like kidnapped and killed everybody or whatever. So the next step is that I think he's going to go try and get his body. So we got to go. And he says bury it. But what actually happens is that he just shoots it in the face a few times. And, that's it. Right after they shoot him and shoot his body and leave, Slash breaks in to try and steal it, and he sees that his body's messed up, and he's really mad about it. Dakota then goes to try and save Natalie's dad, but Slash finds his body destroyed and knows that it was Dakota, so they all run down, and basically they all have like a standoff down there. And Slash grabs Natalie, shoots her dad. Dad is dead. And then Dakota tries to like fist fight Slash, which seems like such a bad idea. He gets the shit beat out of him. He also gets thrown onto a table. Another one of my favorites, getting thrown onto a table. Great. And the table breaks immediately. Perfect. Even better.
It's only good it's only good when the table doesn't break. I've learned that from wrestling.
Flash then shoots Dakota a bunch of times and is like, for some reason is like, oh, Natalie, thanks for showing up here so I don't have to go find you. Then he just punches her out and leaves. And I was like, okay. He also sets a bomb, though. And this is the longest bomb that I've ever seen in a movie. It goes on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, he has to escape.
Well,
They should have, I was real disappointed they didn't go, harder with, Dakota getting shot. They should have gone full RoboCop. Had his whole hand blown off and...
Yeah.
He's gonna be going into,
annihilated.
A fake hologram body shit anyway. They should have just, went hard.
Yeah, I mean, they messed up his sweater, his cashmere sweater, and that's about it. Yeah. Which, is pretty sad.
That's pretty fucked up.
Could have been worse. And then, he sets the bomb, leaves. Natalie, meanwhile, wakes up from being knocked out. And Dakota tells her to get out of there. There's a bomb. You got to get out. Leave me here. I'm dying anyway. And she's like, okay, but first. And she puts him into the holographic machine and makes him into a hologram man also. Then the bomb goes off. But they're fine. Yeah. Natalie wakes up after the explosion. There's a whole solid
2.5 hour long bomb.
Yeah.
I can't, but building this hologram has to take time.
I guess not.
They act like this was a 4-minute fucking thing.
She does also say later that she didn't have time to, do it totally properly, so that's why Slash is, a lot more stronger than him, and he could destroy him, essentially. So, I don't know. It's kind of just a throwaway line, though. But basically, he wakes up as the hologram is like, Natalie, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm totally fine, even though I was just bombed. And she was like, how are you? And Dakota says, I feel hot. And I was like, okay, go off. He's like really feeling himself as a hologram in his white bodysuit.
I mean, perfect body type, hologram.
Yeah, I mean, you won't get any arguments from me here. Slashman.
Yeah.
Slash Senior, also Slashman. Slash's henchmen are partying, and Slash doesn't really feel like partying because he's sad that his adversary is dead.
It's such a turn. Like,
I was like,
the next
what?
thing you see him after he's having this great time after killing Dakota, he's just like, my greatest nemesis is gone.
I don't really feel like partying. Get out of here.
So weird.
It is very strange. Okay, so back at their house, Dakota is just kind of like seeing if he can type on a computer for whatever reason. He kind of can with his little electricity. And Natalie's like, be careful with that, like neurons and whatever, you know. And Natalie has brought him negatively charged stage makeup, which is, you know, not as good as polymer, I would assume, because polymer is like like you make rubber suits out of that stuff, and stage makeup is literally stage makeup. But for some reason, it works exactly the same because he now looks like a normal person also. Small aside, the secretary and the hacker have Slash in a computer. They've like uploaded him into a computer so that they can call the head of the police, and he gets electrocuted through the computer screen. Pretty cool.
I know we already passed it, but I forgot how incredible the special effects during Dakota's training thing is. When he's like doing the game training or whatever to like take out.
Oh yeah, the first person shooter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was where he killed the assassins.
I forgot. I wanted to talk about how fucking incredible like video game effects are. It's just like fucking like 3DO special effects.
Yeah, pretty great.
What's happening?
So yeah,
Get distracted by the bang bus again.
Dakota goes through this whole thing where he's like telling Natalie that he would have been better off dead, and she should have just like let him die, and she's kind of like, okay, that's rude, but whatever. I mean, whatever. Then they kiss, and all of the appliances start going off. And I was like, very cool.
That's how you know you're in trouble when all your appliances go off at the same time.
Yeah.
They're just as horny as everyone else.
So
sexual tension's too much.
Yeah. They didn't, and like they don't bang at all either. So I don't know.
The appliances?
They do, but you just don't see it.
Yeah.
Just hear blender noises for the rest of the film in the background.
That's like another thing. Like I'm really I need to figure it out. I'm really curious how the science works behind stage makeup energy man having sex with his girlfriend. I'm not really sure.
I thought you were talking about blenders fucking, but yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Oh, I said the guy got electrocuted through the screen, right?
Yeah.
The secretary then brings Slash a plan on how to basically like rebuild civilization, and for no reason, Slash gets mad and kills him. He's like, I'm the one that comes up with the plans, and he's like, bro, you asked me to give you a plan. He's like, no, and he just kills him, and I was like, ooh, okay. Makes sense. The president then calls Dakota and Natalie and is like, you know, he's basically just like, do your fucking job. You're such an idiot. Like, why aren't you doing this right or whatever? And Natalie's just like, listen, you're a hologram man now, and you don't have to listen to the president. You can basically do whatever you want to do. And he's like,
Hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah, because then the president says essentially that Dakota is acting so stupid that he's committing treason by how stupid he's being. And I was like, Jesus. I was like, that is so dramatic. And so Dakota stands up for himself and he's basically just like, you need to shut up. Like, you're no better than Slash. Like, all the things you're doing, like, you don't care about anybody in your cabinet. You don't care about the people. Like, all you want is to, like, keep the power that you have. Like, you're no better than him. And the president is basically just like, okay, I'm going to have you fucking killed.
He's like, you just got yourself a firing squad or whatever.
Right. And then this is when Dakota's like, go ahead, you fucking idiot. And he, like, reveals that he is a hologram man, too.
Dun, dun.
Perfect. Natalie tells Dakota that... This is when Natalie tells Dakota that to be careful because she couldn't stabilize him as well because, you know, the bomb. And so it would be really easy for Slash to, like, destroy him forever. So just, like, be careful. And he's just like, I know, but I'm the only one that can do it. This is when the president is kidnapped and Slash is like essentially like, okay, well, I want to have all the power that there is in the world, so I'm just gonna like take over your body. Then I'll be able to do whatever I want. But guess what? The president kills the hacker guy and then reveals himself to actually be Dakota. I bet you didn't see that coming.
Gasp.
Then he also kills...
M. Night Shyamalan can't get me.
No. Then he also kills One Eye. I forgot to say early... Oh, no. 8-Ball also gets killed very soon after. R.I.P. 8-Ball.
Very sad.
Slasher finds Dakota, and for some reason... so Slash's real name is Norman, and for some reason he really hates when people call him Norman.
Norm.
I would too, unless my last name was Osborne and I was a billionaire.
So, I mean, yeah. So he is basically just like, what's up, Norman? What are you doing here, Norman? And he's like, don't fucking call me Norman. He's like, why not, Norman? He's just bullying him, basically. And he gets mad. They fight. Meanwhile, you know, the henchmen are shooting. And somebody torches Dakota. This is when his fake body melts. Also, very cool. And this is, you know, he reveals that he's hollow, which nobody knew at that point. And then they hollow fight each other, right? So they're like punching and it's like bzz, bzz, bzz.
Hollow fight each other is a very good term.
Yeah. This is when Dakota punches his arm into a computer and absorbs all the computer's energy so that then he can shoot out energy balls. So he shoots an energy ball into Slash, and Slash falls back into a hollow machine where he has, in my opinion, plenty of time to get out, but instead he just lays there going, no, don't do this, no. And he gets de-hollowed, I guess, and sucked into a tube.
Terrible.
where he is a tiny man in a tube, and then Dakota explodes the tube with his lightning powers.
Hell yeah.
Afterwards, the president is still like, okay, you did a good job, I guess, but I still rule everything and you're stupid. And then Dakota's just like, you fucking suck and I'm ending this shit here. And then he electrocutes the president's car and the car explodes. So just win-wins all around here. He doesn't even get to participate in the bang bus because he's been curled, you know? Then this is what I find to be the biggest twist of the movie, and they really keep you on your toes. Because Natalie said, "Oh my gosh, Dakota, what are we gonna do now?" And he goes, "Vote." And then he walks off the screen. So this whole movie has been voting propaganda.
Yeah,
do you see what happens
awful.
when you don't vote?
Yeah.
Hologram men start running through the streets.
Incredible.
This is almost as good of an ending as that random movie where we found out how sangria was created. Like,
fuck.
this is up
about
there.
That too.
This is up there. And that
Incredible.
is Hologram Man from 1995. There it is.
Incredible.
That was a tough one. I have to say, that was a tough one to get through.
Cinema.
But we did it.
Cinema at its finest, if you ask me.
Yeah. So I do have just like tiny news. There's a little news. Two things that I'm excited about. One thing
Voting?
I'm excited about. Voting. Don't forget to vote. Because now you're voting for who you want to see on the Bang Bus. So stakes have never been higher.
Don't forget. If you're in line, stay in line.
Yes.
Bernie Sanders is going to go so fucking hard on the Bang Bus. I can't wait.
Absolutely.
He's got nothing to, he's literally got the best years of his life ahead of him. He might as well.
The thing about Bernie is we know he's a giver, so like,
right.
It'll always be good to watch.
I don't.
All right, what was the news?
Did you guys see the trailer for Big Shark?
No, I don't like Tommy Wiseau, so like I don't know. I'm sure I'll watch it at some point for the podcast, but like I'm not like as infatuated with him as everyone else is.
No, I'm extremely baffled by it because I also don't really like, of all of the things that you could have be a movie with your kind of like, I don't want to say notoriety is not the right word, with your reputation is like a Big Shark movie. I don't know. That comes out April 2nd. You can watch the trailer if you want. I don't know if they've done this in the past, but Vinegar Syndrome announced they're doing that Blu-ray for Dr. Giggles. So if you don't, Dr. Giggles.
Vinegar Syndrome is?
That's what I saw.
Weird.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Double check it. And then also Walmart is going to be having a Blu-ray steel case version of Maximum Overdrive. So I might get that. Then the last thing is that the second season of Sweet Tooth is finally coming out. I'm very excited because it premieres on my birthday, which is April 27th. So I don't even know how long ago the first season came out. And then I saw that season 2 of The Last of Us, they were like, yeah, it'll be coming out like late 2024, early 2025. And I was like, God, that seems so long. And I know it'll be here before I know it, but it just seems very long.
It's really far away.
We'll see if we make it to 2025 or not.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't know. But I'm excited about Sweet Tooth because I really liked the first season. So
I don't know what that is.
I assume it's the Twisted Metal TV series.
No, it was on Netflix. It's based off of a comic book, and it's about like that little hybrid babies.
Oh,
there was so like the main character
book thing.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was called sweet sauce, sweet something that wasn't too
sweet and sour sauce.
Sweet and sour sauce. Peeps
I do love sweet. I do also love sweet and sour sauce.
Was the Dr. Giggles thing you saw on Bloody Disgusting?
Maybe.
Because
I don't know.
the little tease thing before you click the article says Vinegar Syndrome, but it's Scream Factory in the actual article.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing,
I don't know.
I was like, wait, because
Yeah, they just released that like last week.
Well, it says Home Video label Vinegar Syndrome just announced their flash pre-order for halfway to Black Friday.
Okay.
But that's not that. I'm actually on board with that, but I was like, I don't remember that being in the thing.
Right?
Yeah.
They are releasing Showgirls though at 4K because Vinegar Syndrome knows what the people want. I feel like there was a news story I had looked up that I was going to bring up, but I don't remember. Lady Gaga, Harley Quinn got shown, and apparently the Friday the 13th prequel series is coming out from A24, I guess. I don't know if I realized that.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything that like I feel like I would have remembered to bring up. There's a Misfits Tiki mug coming out, I guess.
Not from Mondo.
I
R.I.P.
don't know who this is from. This looks way worse than Mondo's. The Mondo Tiki mugs are great. We're great. We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, apparently Linda Blair is coming back for the Exorcist trilogy from fucking Blumhouse.
That's okay.
Yeah. There's also another Megalodon movie coming called The Black Demon.
Oh, not the Meg sequel, just a different Megalodon
one.
movie.
Josh Lucas stars in the big screen Megalodon horror movie The Black Demon this April.
Sure, whatever.
More. Everybody just make a Megalodon movie. All right. Katie, what'd you watch this week?
I don't know if I watched anything that wasn't for the podcast. I don't think I did. Except for like the shows that I'm still currently watching. I didn't watch anything else new except for bonus stuff.
Okay. What about you, Kit?
Also didn't watch a whole lot. I watched John Wick Chapter 4.
How was that?
Fucking rips. So good.
I feel like I've seen nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, it ruled.
I've only seen the first one. I still haven't seen the others yet.
They're all really good. Say three like walk the line where it's like, all right, this is getting to be too much and a little repetitive, but four was way better, and it has Donnie Yen and Hiroyuki Sanada, and Scott Adkins pops up briefly, and it kicks so much ass. Everything's so cool.
I keep seeing like interviews on red carpets of people asking like Keanu Reeves about things, like with the movie. Like a lot of it's been about like Lance Reddick. Is that his name? Guy that passed away recently. Yeah. But like I keep seeing a clip going around where like someone's like, "Oh, there's like 3 martial arts experts in this movie." Names people, and he's like, 4 Scott Adkins is in it. I'm like, yeah. Give Scott Adkins his fucking respect.
Absolutely. He's in ridiculous prosthetics in this, and he's still doing all of his normal stuff, and it's nuts. But yeah, that's so good. Highly recommended. I want to go see it in a theater again, to be honest. And then this morning I watched Knock at the Cabin, which I thought was pretty good. It's a more serious M. Night movie, like his most serious one in a while, I think. He kind of isn't leaning into his super campy, goofy shit like an old, But it's still good. Like, I mean, I think it's worth watching just for Batista.
Yeah.
Because Batista's performance is hella good. Yeah, I liked it up until the end. I think the end was kind of whatever. But
I need you to text me on the site. I'm not going to watch it. I need you to text me on the site and tell me what it is, because I want to know if it's the same as the book. And if it is, I agree with you, which is why I was like not interested in it. But I am interested to see if they changed it.
Say it on the podcast. Spoil it for everybody.
Wow.
Dun dun.
Did
they were all holograms.
It was the trees the whole time.
Yeah, the trees were holograms. But then other than that, Tubi has both the Nightmare on Elm Street TV series, Freddy's Nightmares, and the Tremors TV series. So I've been watching both of those.
Whoa,
oh shit!
What is the Tremors TV series like?
Bad.
Unsurprising.
But it's got a surprising amount of the cast from the movies in it, and it's like the initial conceit is some dude moves to perfection because he bought Jungle Jack's Graboid adventure, the like Jeep stuff that the dude was doing, the Jeep tours the guy was doing in 3, I think it was.
I don't think I've seen anything past the first 2, so
yeah, it's you have to already be like way bought in to even understand what the fuck's happening in the show. But yeah,
when did it come out?
I want to say it was early 2000s, 04, 05. It was it aired on Sci-Fi Channel.
Huh.
That also checks out.
I did start watching
03.
that. Okay, I did start watching that Nightmare Before Christmas, Nightmare on Elm Street series, but at the time it just wasn't what I was. It's like, I don't know. It just like wasn't what I was feeling at the time, so I just stopped watching it and I never went back. But I should.
I'm way into it because it's like bad version of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
But like, it's super fun. Like half of them don't have anything to do with fucking Freddy at all, but it'll occasionally pop up as the main bad guy.
It's just like, I'm also here.
The first episode I was not expecting to be a prequel to A Nightmare on Elm Street. So it like follows the cops as they are like trying to cover up everyone going and murdering Freddy Krueger, and then the FBI shows up in town, and this the police chief like has a mental breakdown about how they murdered someone and he's got to try and hide the body.
Yeah, I didn't know what the show was about at all when I went in, and I was just like, wow, what? Not what I was guessing it would be about.
Let's see. I watched a bunch of shit on a VHS YouTube channel. A movie called Night Terror from 1977 that I think was a made-for-TV movie about like this housewife who's driving from like Phoenix to Denver and accidentally witnesses a murder and then is like being followed by the guy that murdered somebody for the rest of the movie. It was pretty good. Kind of like Road Games-ish, but like made for TV. I watched Without Warning from 1980, which has very ridiculous little disc-looking aliens in it.
And Jack Palance, right?
Yeah, and Martin Landau.
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
Pretty wild that movie exists. I watched Crawl Space from 1972, which was like fine. It's this movie about like this like childless couple that just like find a dude living in their crawl space and then just try to like pretend he's their kid. It's weird. I watched 1976's Cruisin' High, which I don't remember much about. I think it was this was just like it was kind of like a youth street gang movie where one guy kills like the other's gang leader and then blames it on like this other rival gang, and it's just like a bunch of like 30-year-olds playing teenagers murdering each other in gangs. I watched Cutting Class from 1989, which I believe was Brad Pitt's first movie, and it's this like weird fucking like late 80s kind of slasher comedy a little bit. But there's a scene where Brad Pitt is trapped by having his head in a vice in like a like metal shop room in a school or whatever. But
oh shit.
It's also got Dirk Blocker, who was the fucking bald terrible cop on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes, I know him.
I can't think of what his name was on the
Holt.
Yeah, no, Holt is Holt's the fucking captain.
Oh, he was. Yeah. No,
Scully
he was. Yeah.
Scully's the one with the flat top, I think. What was the other one's name? I don't remember. But it was pretty good. If you're like into like kind of goofy slashers, probably worth your time.
I've seen him come up in a lot of like older stuff, where he's like much younger, and I was like, oh shit.
I rewatched The Brood for the first time in like a long time. It's still great. Then I finished the last bit of Santo movies I had left, and still good. Great fucking series. Watched 4 Evil Bong movies that were terrible.
Brutal. absolutely fucking
Oh,
brutal.
dude, you have no idea how much worse they got than the episode you were on.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
Like, they set up all of this stuff in like 7 that like they just like 5 is essentially just a commercial, an hour-long commercial for these racist dolls Full Moon made. And then 6 sets up all this shit with like hell and like this new fucking villain in it. And then like 7, they're like on the run from this new villain and all this shit. And then 8, which is the last one, is just like the old guy has a restaurant now, and the entire thing takes place in a restaurant, and there's like Karen jokes, and it's brutal. They ended on like the worst note possible. Let's see. I think that's it. I watched a Norm Macdonald stand up from 2011. That's pretty much, I think, the end of it. Other than that, just watch a garbage Real Housewives TV. All right, shout outs, Katie.
Well, I already said snacks last week. I did forget to mention that I also am obsessed with popcorn. I love popcorn.
I think you've mentioned that before. Like a couple times.
Oh, I probably have. But last time when you asked me like what my favorite snack was and I picked chips, I think I still picked chips, but afterwards I was like, oh, I should have mentioned popcorn also. My shout out is my shout out a couple of weeks ago was the 20th anniversary like re-recording they did of Artists in the Ambulance. They started releasing a podcast that it's like all of the guys and then also different people, and it's basically just like a behind the scenes like podcast for it. So if you're into like music stuff, it's like pretty interesting. I think that's like the only new thing I've know about.
What about you, Kit?
I'm gonna say Succession. Succession came back last night. Still rules.
That's like
Best
what
show.
most of my Twitter feed was last night.
Yeah.
Fucking
Well, the Disgusting Brothers are back. All right.
currently on a 7-day suspension on Twitter, so I can't even fucking like do anything.
The thing that people are mad at, I almost like never go on Twitter anymore. Like I will, if somebody like ats me or I have a notification, I'll go on, but like that's kind of it. But today the thing that people are mad about is that somebody left a review under that Winnie the Pooh movie at some point that was to the effect of like you should kill yourself or something, and people are very mad about it.
Like
that's the Discord
the
I
blood
saw.
horror or blood hunting.
Yeah.
Well, it's that or the hardcore discourse, hardcore
I
gatekeeping.
keep seeing like vague things about that, but I don't know, and I refuse to like look into it.
Dude from Mindforce said the same thing that hardcore frontmen have been saying for 30 years, where it's like, if you don't come to shows, you don't actually like hardcore or some fucking shit, and for some reason everyone's mad at it this weekend.
Yeah, checks out.
Who fucking cares?
Don't go to any shows. All shows are bad.
Yeah, especially hardcore shows.
Don't even listen to music at all.
If there's not seats there, I don't want to be there. That's my new rule for shows.
If there's not gumbo, what's the point?
Specifically gumbo.
Yeah, the venue that's shutting down that Kit likes is the one that serves gumbo.
Yeah, they've got gumbo.
Well,
they get the show outside, and you can pop inside to the inside bar and grab a beer, and then you can just grab a table and get some gumbo and still see the show perfectly fine.
Yeah, actually, there was a venue in Richmond called Strange Matter that like had some of the best like vegan food. They had like vegan wings, a vegan like it was tofu, but it was like tofu buffalo sandwich and vegan donut holes. They were so freaking good, and it was just like a music venue, and you could sit at the bar and still see like the stage was right there. It was so amazing, and it also went out of business. So like, why are they taking it away from us?
People are letting down the best venues.
It's because venues
Seriously.
aren't taking a big enough cut of merch.
Yeah. Oh my
Fair.
god, there's someone on my Facebook feed defending the venues taking merch cuts or whatever.
Yeah.
They're providing a service, and fuck off. Shut up.
The only time that
Loser.
I understand that is when they do, like, when you, like, you go to, like, one of those big shows that, like, there's people from the venue doing the merch tables for the bands and shit. Like, I get it. You're gonna pay that person, like, to do that.
Yeah.
But, like, I think Russian Circles tweeted something recently about, like, whatever show they were playing at in the UK, there was, like, a 25% merch cut for the venue.
God
And they
damn.
were like, we're not selling merch tonight, I guess, because this is insane. And I was like, just sell that shit in the parking lot.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, just like go out to the van
Yeah.
and be like, all right.
I had a friend who used to do that, like, when, like, in, like, the early 2000s, when I'm sure, like, it wasn't as common that, like, merch cuts were a thing. But, like, I remember him saying, like, a couple venues on their tour, he was like, just told kids that came to the merch table, like, sorry, we're not selling them anything, but if you meet us out back after the show, we'll just sell it to you from the fucking street.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't I don't know how any band is able to survive at this point.
I don't know how you afford to go on tour.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Unless you're like, I guess even Mastodon said they can't afford to
One
do
of
that
the-
shit, but I was gonna say, like, a band of that fucking stature.
They're charging like $40 for a t-shirt now.
Oh yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I've been priced out of Mastodon merch.
we were
I went to the show and it was like $80 hoodie. I was like, yeah, no.
we told my mom we were going to see The Cure in June, and she was like, "Oh, like, get me a shirt." And I was like, "That shirt's gonna be like $90."
Literally,
Easily.
yeah.
Right?
I think the last time I got one, it was 40, but that was like years ago. So they're definitely like $60 now.
I refuse.
Yeah, no.
I will do
Insane.
$25 max for a short sleeve T-shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe stretch 35 for like a long sleeve, and then 40 for a hoodie. Even then, I feel like most of the bands I actively will go see are like the bands that are like, I don't know, here's some shit I screen printed in my bedroom, $10.
Right.
That's the way it used to be. Yeah.
The fuck is my shout out?
Screen printing t-shirts to sell in the parking
Yeah.
lot.
Just it just makes me think of the Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode where Carl's being haunted as like the fucking football player robot guy or whatever, and he's like selling the Gannett shirts instead of Giants that were misprinted. Or is that the one with no? That's the one with Chicago that just says Chicano instead of Chicago.
Yeah. Amazing.
Let's see. What have I listened to? Oh my god, my Spotify is currently bullshit because I was trying to prove to Caitlin that Everclear had more than one single.
Yeah, they had like 3.
We were arguing that they didn't, that only one single was on the first album, and I was like, no, there was like 4 of them. Listen to these.
Yeah. It's like Father of Mine.
No, Santa Monica was the big one off that first album, but they had like 4 singles off it. So
they were in that Jason Bigg movie Loser too.
Oh, I saw Loser when it came out, but I don't remember anything about it.
It's not very good.
Oh, I'm sure it's not. Jason Bigg does not have a fucking strong track record in that time period.
Woof. Now your Spotify Wrapped is going to be Everclear and Sugar Ray.
My shout out the band The Fall of Troy.
I thought you were gonna say Everclear.
That and
I did too.
And like, so I've been kind of switching on Spotify between listening to some Fall of Troy and then the first 2 Weezer albums. So those are my shout outs.
That is quite a mix of things there.
That fucking the Blue album, perfect. Pinkerton, perfect. And then Rivers died. R.I.P.
Yep. Tragic.
All right. Who's picking something for next week?
Me, but we don't know what it is yet.
Well, you're picking a birthday episode. You could wait.
No,
You're good.
No, because you picked one and then Kit picked one and then you picked one again. So I get to at least pick one now.
I thought you picked the one before Night Game.
Yeah, but we did Shark Lake, Night Game, and Hollow Man. You picked Night Game. Kit picked
Stonatos, then Night Game, and then Shark Lake.
I didn't pick Night Game.
No, yeah, Night Game was mine. You picked. Let's see. So you had 3 in a row. You had the Greenskeeper, Rabid Grannies, and Stonatos. I'm pretty sure all of those were yours.
That's how I remember it.
Wow.
I'm being Stonato.
Okay, I'm gonna pick something that is gonna be either late 90s or early 2000s. That's gonna be. I just haven't decided yet.
Calamari Wrestler.
Yes.
Dr. Ghost.
It's gonna be something like
Samurai Vampire Bikers from Hell. I need that shit to pop up for free sometime soon.
I'm sure it will. Seems easy to get your hands on. I'm gonna pick like a teen like thriller slasher horror something.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm not gonna pick The Faculty, but it's gonna be like in the vein of like The Faculty or Urban Legend or something like that.
Pick Urban Legend 4. Wasn't there 4 of those?
Ugh.
There's 3.
I was gonna say I know of 3, but
the third one sucks.
I mean,
I've only seen the first one.
First one's not great.
I like the first.
It's fine for what it is, but I'm not gonna pretend like it was fucking good.
Academy Award winner, Urban Legend. Okay. The movie itself.
You just like it because Jared Leto's in it.
Ew, I actually forgot he was in it, and now I don't like it anymore.
For some reason, I
take it back.
I thought Bloody Mary was like a 4th in that. I don't think I realized it was just 3. Or is there like 4 Valentine movies? I feel like there was one of those like weird, like 90s.
I know what you did last summer.
Well, there's 3 of those, right?
And a TV series.
Yeah, I hear the TV series has a lot of dicks in it.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Dick it up.
Katie is picking something bad next week, I assume.
I think it'll be great.
Don't worry. I've got my next one picked out. That's gonna be a real banger.
Like I said, I got like a running list, but a bunch of the shit I want to do is like never for free. But I do know Ouija Nazis is on Tubi. Got some backup, so
Thank God.
Even understand like what that is.
I don't know. That's not the real title when you look it up on Letterboxd. It's like something else. But like that was the fucking thing. It is on Tubi because they got to get that like catchy poster. I think it's called Nazi Dawn on Letterboxd.
Nazi Dong?
Yeah.
That's what
You know it'll be good with a name like Nazi Dong. Also, I'm gonna do fucking Amityville Karen for my next pick.
Perfect.
All right. If you'd like to support us, you could join our Patreon at patreon.com/IBSufferPodcast. I think by the time this episode drops, our bonus episode for April will be out on slasher movies. We're doing My Bloody Valentine, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Katie read a book and watched a TV show. I did not read the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 book.
Man.
Because I haven't written it yet.
Okay.
I bet there's some I'm gonna find some slash fiction to read. Chop Top and Leatherface going at it.
I was gonna say who's
banging
Chop Top and fucking the grandpa. Just hitting somebody badly with a hammer. Yeah, you can hear us talk about 3 considered good movies. I Know What You Did Last Summer's fine. It's just not a movie I care about at all. But, 3 good movies, quote unquote. Which I feel like hasn't happened in the bonus episodes for a while. I feel like we've stuck ourselves, or it'll be like a topic that we're like, hell yeah, and then we just pick the weirdest fucking things we can find.
Yeah. To be fair, we botch it ourselves.
Yeah. I'm like, the fucking swamp movies, hell yeah, I'm picking this fucking kids movie. You can buy some merch at our store Frontier shop. You can leave us a rating on Spotify and a rating and review on iTunes. Tell us if you would be a hologram and be on the presidential bang bus. Just tell us who you think. Tell us which president you think fucks the best.
Together?
The best living president. Which one do you think fucks the best?
Did you say living?
Yeah, because they got to be. I'm hoping the dead.
No,
we're gonna have to have a presidential bang bus with just the dead presidents too.
I mean,
corpses.
The necromantic bus.
Either now or 1995, because that's supposedly when the bang bus was.
No, it's got to be now.
Invented.
It's got to be whichever living president's now.
Oh God!
I'm gonna say Jimmy Carter. I bet Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter fucks. Is he still alive? He's the one that does.
I don't.
Yeah, he is.
The Habitat for Humanity stuff, right?
Yeah.
The only.
He looks like he's
somewhat
dying,
fucking decent living president.
Yeah. I like the Habitat, but I don't know.
He's just the only one that's like actively just like got out of the office
doing
and was
stuff.
like, I'm gonna go like build houses for the next 40 years. You can follow us on Instagram at I Hope You Suffer Podcast. Follow Kate at Hidden Kidstery and Kitrification of Blood. Follow Katie at WerewolfFace. And join Katie's Patreon at patreon.com/werewolfface. You can listen to the podcast named Kate Movie Club. Someone come move for me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you where I live. Just go to some houses until you find me.
Find out.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm in one of the 50
Can't be
states.
that hard.
How hard could it be?
Yeah,
All right. I hope you get hologrammed, but why? Joe Biden fucks, by the way. Everybody.
Joe Biden foot job.
Everyone just think about Joe Biden eating ice cream.
Yeah.